Hi, it's me, Debbie again, and I'm here today with another tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a cardstock rose. For the tutorial's sake, I'll start out with a big one, because it makes it easy to see what I'm doing. So I'm using a 2-inch punch, and it's a flower punch with 6 petals. Any other flower punch or die you have with 6 petals will do probably, but this is one that I'm using. So let's start with cutting out 3 flowers. Okay, so now you've got 3 flowers. First thing you do is fold them all down. You are going to fold every diagonal line, and you do this like this. So you just fold it over, press down, fold it open again, twist a little, fold this one down, fold open, twist a little, and fold down. So that's 3 folds per flower. You do this with all 3 flowers. After you've folded the flowers, you're going to cut. The first flower you're just going to cut so between 2 petals up to the center of the flower. It looks like this. The second one, you're going to cut out 1 petal. So again, between 2 petals until the center, twist until the center. With the third one, you're going to cut out 2 petals. So again, until the center and up to the center. Okay, so these are the parts you have now. You won't need this one, so we're going to put that aside. Okay, for assembling the flower, we're first of all going to glue all parts together. So first of all, this one. I like to put the glue on this side, but it's just what you like. For the big flower, I'm going to use tacky glue, but you can actually use any glue that dries fast. You can also use just the glue stick or your glossy accents, of course. So for the big one, I'm using tacky glue because it's, well, quick enough. So I'm gluing just 1 petal, remember, just 1 petal. And I'm going to fold over this petal onto this one. Hold it for a bit to let the glue dry. I like to put on a mini clothespin to hold it and go on with the others. So this one, I actually do the same. I'm gluing this one, putting that one over. So here we go. Holding it for a bit, and again securing it with a clothespin for the time being. Onto this one. I'll do the same thing. Gluing 1 petal, putting the other one on top, holding it down, securing it with a mini clothespin. Okay, so now you've got 1 part left. And what to do with that, you may ask? Well, this one we're going to roll up because it's going to be the center. The way I use it is I just use a toothpick, and using that as a guide, I'm going to roll up the entire thing like this. Okay, so now you've got this one. So these are the parts you've got. Now we're going to put the flower together. We start off with the big part. What we do is we press down in the center and make a swirling motion. This way the bottom gets flattened out. After we've done that, we're going to glue the smaller one inside. Before we do that, we want to cut off a piece of it, because otherwise it will stick out too much. So just a bit, just the tip of it, we're going to cut off. Now we've got something like this. With a blob of glue, we're gluing it inside this one. Okay, on to the next part. Again, some glue. Remember, we cut off a little part of this one too. Just the tip. And put it in the center. I like to use, when I'm this far, something that can hold my flower. I'm using an old roll that contained ribbon, but doesn't matter really. So it sits nice in the center. I can really adjust the petals the way I like. On to the last part, the center. We're also going to cut off a piece of this one. And with some glue, putting it in the center. When I see this, I like to pull out a bit of the center like this, so it makes a nicer flower in total. Okay, and now I set it out to dry. After we've let it dry, we're going to bend over the petals to make it more look like a rose. So this is the one we made earlier, and what I use to bend the petals is just some equipment I use for jewelry making, but you can also use, of course, a toothpick or, well, anything round like little brush or something, but I'd like to use this one. So all you do is just take it, you could also use a tweezer, and bend it over a bit. And you do this to all petals that stick out. So, and then we go one layer in, bending it just like the others, and one layer in again. Okay, so, and that's that. That's the little rose you've just made. And of course you can ink it up or spray it or anything you like. Like, for example, I'll show you with some distress ink. Just ink up the edges, for example. And like this, you've already got a rose that would fit your project. Of course, you can also ink them up first before you assemble the flower, but that's all up to you. I've just showed you the basic on how to, and that's start making a smaller one now. When we do this a lot smaller, you get something like this. I'll show you. For this one I'm using just a tiny little flower punch, and it's, well, not even half an inch, I think. I'll show you. Okay, again, just 3 little ones. And we do the same steps. Look, it's not even half an inch. Just about. So first of all, we're going to fold the lines. Like this. Open up, twist a bit, fold down again. It's quite hard. This small, but it works eventually. This way is much easier. Just put your nail in the center, fold down the middle. Okay, so again we're going to cut. Okay, this is a bit harder, but we can do it. For these ones I like to use my glossy accents because it has a very fine tip. So, removing the excess. Okay, so remember, I'm gluing on one petal. And I'm putting the other petal on top of it. Just holding it right. And let's see if this one can hold that one. Yeah, it does. And this last part I'm going to roll up, not with a toothpick, but just with a pin, because it's much smaller. Okay, now for putting it all together. Again, we're going to push this one a bit down. You can also do this with a pin. It's much easier. That way. We're going to put this one in the center, but before we're going to cut up just a tiny bit of the tip. Like this. So, some glue in the center. And this is what it looks like. Tiny little mini rose. So of course you can make them in various sizes, and I've put up a little display for you so you can see the difference. Well, this is the big one we've used, so that's the 2-inch punch. This is made with a 1-inch punch. This is made with a punch that's just slightly bigger than half an inch, and this is the teeny tiny one we've used for the mini tiny rose. So, and this is the result it gives you. So I'm hoping this gives you some ideas, and if you have any questions, do let me know. Bye for now. Bye.